everyone, welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? My name is Bilikis. Good to be back with another tutorial which will be on how to make this exaggerated high-low bell sleeve. Can you see that it's just so dramatic? Can you see high-low? Can you see how long it is? So this is just beautiful and it is very, very easy to make. So right now we'll go to the work table and I'm going to show you how to make this exaggerated high-low bell sleeve we have here. And if today is your first time of checking out my channel, please make sure you subscribe and tap on the notification bell. Check out my other channel, Pattern Drafting with Bilikis and Bilikis Kitchen. Follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures, and on Facebook, Sewing Innovation. We have our monthly online classes on right now in case you're interested. And for the sewing tools you see me use every now and then: hip cuff, hand cuff, hand hole cuff, pattern master, pins, tracing wheel, seam ripper, thread cutter. So just use the contact number in the description box below. So right now let's go to the work table. Exaggerated sleeve, you will need about 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 yards of fabric just for one sleeve. Yes, it is what all the drama and beauty you will get. Then a tip for those that want to make this type of sleeve: make sure the main dress is something simple, like a straight dress. Short dress will be better because you don't want something so bogus with such exaggeration. So make sure whatever dress the main dress will be is something simple and stylish, because the drama is more on the sleeve. So the next thing you will need is the basic sleeve, and my basic sleeve here, the length is 10 inches. So can you see that I have 10 inches, then half an inch for seam allowance. So the next thing now, before we cut the circular high-low bell, what you have to do is to take the measurement of the sleeve opening. Please do not take the seam allowance measurement because you are going to sew that in. So when I take this, I have 6 3/4. So that 6 3/4 just multiplies by 2 because this is on fold. 6 3/4, that gives me 13.5. So all you have to do is to divide this 13.5 by 6.28. That is the standard for calculating a full circle sleeve or peplum or skirt. Yes, because we are making a full circle. So 13.5 by 6.28 will give me 2.1. So that means the radius I'll be working with will be 2.1. So after noting that, now let's go to the main fabric. Here I have a fabric of 1 1/2 yards by 45. You know African print comes by 45. So how now to get the length of the circular bell we want. The lower part, the shorter part, I want that to be 10 inches. So, but with seam allowance and all that for both the upper and the lower parts, so that will be extra 1 inch to make it 11 inches. Now, for the lower part that will be longer, I want that to be 34 inches. So, with seam allowance 35, meaning the shorter one is 11, the longer one is 35. When I add that together, I'm going to have 46. So, because of the radius of the 2 1/2, so let us just add 5 inches to that 46 we have. So because the radius will be taken for both the shorter one and the longer one, that was why I asked you to add extra 5 inches to the 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 51. Meaning the 1 1/2 yard I have here is more than enough. So measuring from here straight down is 1 1/2. And then I just folded the by 45 into 2. Then in case you are using by 60 and you want to know the amount to fold, all you have to do is this: take the shorter one, which is 11 inches, add, just double it. So I'm going to add extra 10 inches to that because it's actually 10. So that means it's going to be what? It's going to be 21. So this is 21. So can you see that is just perfect? So if you have by 45, that is it. So the next thing we are going to do is to fold. We are folding the shorter one and the longer one. Remember, the shorter one is 11, the longer is 35. And I told you to add extra 5 inches, so divide that into 2. So 11 plus 2 1/2. 11, 1, 2, half. That's 13 1/2. So this is enough for the shorter one. Then the longer one is 35 plus 2 1/2. 1, 2, then half. So that's 37 1/2 we are Okay, so the next thing now is this. First, let me insert the radius of 2.1. I should take that 2.1. Now that is the radius here. It's so small. So after doing that, the next thing is to insert the bigger one, which is 11 inches. So you can just measure 11 all around, but just add the 2.1 to 11. That will give you 1 to 13.1. So I'm just going to measure 13.1. So 13.1. So when I get to this point, I will start increasing by 1 inch. Can you see just a little, about 6 inches inward? Just start marking, increasing it. So 13.1 to this point. Here 14. Can you see? Then you join it to that line. Keep increasing it. 15. 16, 17, and I'm going to move forward again. 18, then again 19, and I can just end it that way. Ignore this was a mistake. So this is what I have. So I started from 11.1 and ended at 19 inches. So that's good. Now let us quickly work on the longer one. So measure from the start, and that is 35 plus 2.1. That will be 1, 2. That's 37.1. So let us start. 37.1. So move again. 37.1. So move again about 6 inches inward. 37.1. So after that, again, just like we did, you will start reducing. Here you were increasing, but here you have to start reducing. So that's 37.1. Then I'll start with 36. Move, then 35. Then 34. So after doing that, the next thing is to connect with your ruler. So good. What I'll do again is to just curve this curve that is coming. Just make sure it goes into that straight line. Let me see. So with that, you can just blend it in a curvy way. So that straight line is just to direct you. So that's what we have. So let's cut it out. See that? Now the upper one, please don't cut together. Can you see? Now we can cut the radius. Beautiful. So now another thing we need to notch. Can you see how easy that was? So this part is just okay. So you can see that this will be for the lower part, this will be for the higher part. So just notch that point. notch. It will be useful when we are joining it. And this is what we have. So beautiful. This is it. And you see that by the time it falls, it's going to be very beautiful. Next thing I will do is to go to the sewing machine, sew in the seam allowance on the wrong side, then we can attach it. And note, you will be cutting your lining the same way. So before opening it up, just place it on your lining and cut the exact same thing. So let me just sew this up. I have attached the seam allowance. This is what I have. So the next thing is to join it. Remember, this is the shorter part, I notched that. The longer part, I notched that. So the next thing is to join. Make sure you have sewn in your lining. But because I'm making a tutorial, I wouldn't want to waste any lining. Just make sure right side of this flare is facing the right side, and then sew it all around, starting from the edge all around, and turn it out. After turning it out, then the stitch. Now this is the shorter part, the notch part. I will make sure that matches with the upper part of the sleeve. So now this is the right side, should be facing each other. And then where I join the seam allowance matches with the other part I notch, which is the longest part. And this is what I have. Can you see? So I'm going to take the sewing machine now and sew it all around. Now I've joined it. Can you see that? So beautiful. So imagine having attached the lining, the stability of the sleeve will be so much, and then all this lower part will be finished. So this is what it looks like. Can you see? Can you see the lower parts? And can you see how it fell? Can you see how it's exaggerated? So let me just place it on the mannequin. This is the sleeve we've just made, and you can see it really came out so beautiful. Looking at the shoulder part, and then increasingly it became wavy and beautiful. Looking at the longer part, so dramatic. So if this tutorial has been helpful, please give me a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and just imagine it with the lining. It's just going to come out so beautiful. So I remain your girl Bilikis. Bye guys.